In the heart of an ancient temple, Ilaria, the last oracle of her kind, sat in silence, her eyes clouded with visions of a world on the brink of ruin. Her prophecies had always been respected, revered by kings and queens alike. But this final prophecy, was different. It was a message not of hope, but of despair. For years, Ilaria had foreseen countless futures, glimpses of paths both dark and light. But now, one path loomed above all, unchangeable and unyielding. In it, a cataclysm would shatter the realms, scattering lives and rewriting history. And it all hinged on one single terrifying vision. As she traced the intricate patterns carved into the stone around her, she felt a chill ripple through her. The prophecy had taken shape in her mind, a vision of fire and shadow, a single thread woven through a tapestry of destruction. Just as she felt the weight of her vision overwhelm her, footsteps echoed down the temple's corridor. She looked up to see Cailan, a warrior known for his bravery and resolve, approaching with determination in his eyes. "Ilaria," he said, his voice steady, yet filled with a question. "I know the prophecy. I know the fate you foresee, but I am here because I believe it can be changed." Her heart sank, torn between hope and the crushing weight of her vision. "Cailan, I have seen what awaits us. Some things are beyond even the power of the gods." But he shook his head. Nothing is beyond free will, not even destiny itself. A flicker of doubt stirred within her. Could this warrior, this man who defied even the heavens, alter the fate she had so clearly seen? Or was she leading him into an inevitable doom? Would you defy the fate written in the stars? Ilaria had always believed her visions were absolute, a script written by the hands of fate. But as she listened to Cailan's impassioned plea, a tiny seed of doubt began to take root. She led him to the temple's inner sanctum, where the firelight cast dancing shadows upon ancient murals, a place that held secrets only the oracles could interpret. With a deep breath she began to chant, her voice weaving a spell of vision. Her eyes clouded as images flooded her mind. A battlefield soaked in red, a darkness spreading over the land, and Cailan standing alone, a small but resilient light in the consuming shadows. "The prophecy warns of ruin," she whispered, her voice trembling. "But there is more. A choice lies hidden within the darkness, a choice only you can make." Cailan leaned closer, his face a mixture of hope and fear. "What choice? Tell me, and I will do whatever it takes to save our world." But even as she tried to explain, the vision grew blurred, and she felt herself slipping, her mind pulled back by a force beyond her control. The prophecy was fighting her, refusing to reveal its secrets. It was as if destiny itself resisted change, determined to fulfill its terrible promise. As she opened her eyes, Ilaria realized that Cailan was watching her, a silent question in his gaze. "Destiny will not yield its truth so easily," she admitted, her voice barely a whisper. "But there is a chance, a small chance, that your courage could alter its course. Yet if you fail, all will be lost." A weight settled on Cailan's face, but his resolve remained unshaken. "Then I will face the darkness, and if destiny will not bend, I will break it." A spark of hope ignited within Ilaria. For the first time she allowed herself to imagine a future beyond the vision of ruin. Could one mortal challenge the will of the gods? The days that followed were a blur of preparation. Cailan trained relentlessly, honing his skills for the battle to come. Ilaria watched, her mind a storm of conflicting emotions. She had seen countless warriors try to defy fate, but none with Cailan's unyielding determination. They set out together on a journey to the Valley of Shadows, where the source of the prophecy lay hidden. Along the way, they encountered strange omens, a raven that watched them from a dead tree, a river that flowed backward, and a sky filled with dark, swirling clouds. One night, as they rested by the fire, Cailan broke the silence. "Ilaria, what drives you to help me? You who believe in the sanctity of prophecy." She hesitated, her gaze fixed on the flickering flames. For so long I believed that I was merely a vessel, a mouthpiece for fate. But you make me question everything. Perhaps the gods are testing me, or perhaps we are meant to shape our own fates. A smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. Then let us forge our path together. As dawn broke, they ventured deeper into the valley, where a darkness unlike any Ilaria had ever seen awaited them. It was a place where the air grew thick and shadows clung to the earth like living beings. Ilaria felt a shiver run through her, a whisper of the prophecy reminding her of the consequences of their actions. But with Kaelin by her side, she pushed forward, determined to uncover the truth of the vision that had haunted her. Can courage alone overcome the shadows of destiny? As they reached the heart of the valley, an ancient altar loomed before them, etched with symbols of prophecy and power. Ilaria felt a chill as she recognized the markings, the very language of the gods themselves. She took a step forward, her hand brushing over the symbols as they glowed faintly beneath her touch. A low, ominous voice filled the air, echoing in her mind, speaking in the language of the gods. Ilaria, it whispered, you have come to defy fate. But know this, destiny is not so easily altered. The path has been set. But Kaelin stepped forward, his eyes fierce with defiance. We will create our own path, he declared, his voice cutting through the darkness. The air thickened, pressing down on them like an invisible weight. Shadows twisted and writhed, forming a figure cloaked in darkness, a manifestation of fate itself. It loomed before them, an embodiment of the prophecy, radiating an aura of power and inevitability. Ilaria's heart pounded as she met its gaze, her resolve wavering. This is the end, the voice whispered, a final warning. But as Kaelin raised his weapon, a surge of courage filled her, a reminder that she too had a choice. She stepped forward, channeling every ounce of her power into a single vision, a new prophecy, a vision of hope. Is it truly impossible to rewrite the fate written by the gods? As Ilaria's vision unfolded, she felt the power of the prophecy shift, like a river diverted from its course. The figure of darkness trembled, its form flickering as her vision of hope took hold. She could feel Kaelin's presence beside her, his determination fueling her strength. In her vision she saw a world saved, a future filled with light. But just as she felt the tide of destiny turning, a strange sensation coursed through her. A whisper echoed in her mind, soft yet unyielding. A price must be paid. Ilaria's heart sank as she realized the cost of their defiance. In altering the prophecy, she had condemned herself to be the sacrifice, a life given in exchange for the world's salvation. As she turned to Kaelin, he looked at her with a mixture of pride and sorrow. You've changed the prophecy, Ilaria. You've given us a chance. Tears filled her eyes as she nodded. But it comes with a price. I am bound to this vision now. I will not see the future we have created. He reached out, holding her hand, his voice breaking. Ilaria, you've given everything for us. The world will remember you as its saviour. With one final bittersweet smile, Ilaria released her hold on the vision, and the darkness that had threatened their world shattered, dissipating like mist in the morning light. As her life slipped away, Ilaria felt a deep peace, knowing that she had defied the gods and rewritten destiny itself. And so the world was saved by the courage of a warrior and the sacrifice of an oracle. But in the annals of history, she would be remembered not as a mere vessel of prophecy, but as a woman who dared to challenge fate, and won. Would you sacrifice everything for a chance to change fate?